Well, first two worsts figure out which is worse. And then the other two worsts figure out which is worse. And then the top two worsts fight it out until eventually you get the WORSTEST Worstest.
Come around the campfire, kids. Because I have a spooky story for you tonight.
No more stories.
Oh, it's a bad one. A good one, a scary one. It is an urban legend.
Well, John, I don't know about urban legends, but I could tell you a true story. My cousin knows this girl who was once driving home late one night.
Yeah?
And this real creepy guy was right behind her, flashing his brights at her.
No way.
Yeah, and she was looking, and you could tell he was like weird looking. And she's like, oh man, this guy is creepy. He keeps following me. So she kept making turns, lefts and rights, and he was still there flashing his brights.
He's turning too?
Yeah, and he starts waving at her. She's like, now she's really freaking out.
I'm freaking out.
Yeah, so she flew home as fast as she could.
Good for her.
Gets out. He gets out too, and she's about to scream, don't hurt me. And he yells out, no, your car. There's a crazy guy with a knife in your back seat. I was trying to warn you the whole time.
Wait a minute.
No way.
Yeah.
I had a cousin. He was driving a car, and he told me that he saw some lady driving around, and there was a crazy guy with a knife in his back seat.
No way.
It really happened. He said it really happened. I believe him.
Must be the same story.
Holy crap.
Guys, you know what?
What?
I was that guy with the knife.
You,
Oh,
you sushi cutting freak.
I am.
Who let you out?
Oof. That's right. If you couldn't tell, today's episode is all about urban legends. Spooky.
Urban legends.
Tim and I were just talking about the urban. Well, we were all talking about it, but Tim was telling what he loves about the urban legend.
What I love about urban legends, John, is that they are in every culture, every society. Everyone knows them, and everyone tells them. And so many people swear that they're true.
Everyone's got a cousin.
Yep. A friend.
And
A guy I used to work with.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy I knew, I worked with him, and he knew this person who.
Yep.
Or in the job he had before, he was a milkman, and he knew all kinds of stuff about what they do with the milk. It's not real milk.
Yep. And all these urban legends tend to...
Is that what they're firing at the Iranians now?
That's right. It's milk. It's blue milk. It's special blue milk.
That's what we're down to.
Yikes.
The Rothschilds started it in 1837, the blue milk.
See, that's why there's such a push to drink the raw stuff before anyone gets their hands on it.
That's right, before they put the petrochemicals and they squeeze the babies in the milk. They make milk babies and baby milk. They call it baby formula. It's made out of babies.
So
That's why it's locked up at the CVS.
now I think what you guys are talking about is
It's
conspiracy
a
theories.
book about making milk from babies.
Well, urban legends are close cousins to conspiracy theories.
You are right, Tim.
And there is some overlap. Urban legends tend to expose our worst fears and anxieties. And you can tell, depending on what kind of culture we're talking about, you can see their fears and anxieties depending on which urban legend belongs to which culture. So naturally tonight, we'll be talking more about urban legends in the United States and Canada. And these very much also kind of expose not just our anxieties, but also their morality tales.
Our cultural biases.
Cultural biases that we have. It usually can be cautionary tales about something you shouldn't do. This is why a lot of young people hear these urban legends. It's sort of society's way of, warning them about the dangers of the world.
And there's so many. There's so many.
So many.
We're going to be doing 4 of them, but there are so many.
It's crazy when, I think, in the thread when we were sort of chatting, you can't imagine how many lists there are. I mean, Tim, you had a big book of urban legends.
I have the big book of urban legends. It's edited by a man, a folklore specialist who teaches at the University of Utah. His name is Jan Brunvold. His parents are from Norway. So he has a Norwegian name.
Okay.
He's 92 years old. He's still alive. I looked him up. He's teaching at the University of Utah. He is known as Mr. Urban Legend.
Is he the guy who came up with all the urban legends?
So he is a professor of folklore, and he tries to tell his students years ago when he realized there was a disconnect. Students thought folklore just happened a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, and he said, no, we have modern folklore. They're called urban legends. And he just did this whole compilation in this great book that came out in about 1994. It's a series of books. They're called the Big Book of, and the Big Book of Unexplained, Big Book of Conspiracy Theories, which is a great one, the Big Book of Hoaxes, and this one is the Big Book of Urban Legends. And it's done by dozens of cartoonists and other graphic designers, and they each get in this case, they each get an urban legend to draw in their own style.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's sort of like a
That's
graphic
really
novel.
cool.
Yeah, and I looked them up. Some of the cartoonists are quite well known in the industry. They've done a lot of good stuff.
Is Gahan Wilson in there?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
He's
I
good.
should have brought the book tonight, actually.
He does weird, creepy shit.
Yeah. So it's
like
an outstanding book. I highly recommend it, and the series in general, especially the Big Book of Conspiracy Theories. I think a friend of ours, man, we know is Simon, probably has a copy of this book.
Simon sleeps.
I would
sleeps
imagine.
with that book under his head. I'm sure.
No doubt. No
I'm
doubt.
Sure, he probably had.
He keeps it under his tin hat.
That's right.
It's probably well annotated. He's got little notes on every single page.
Dog-eared.
and-
Pillow is way too uncomfortable. He needs that hard book to settle down his
Yeah,
brain.
he's writing notes in the margins.
Oh, it's all yellow stained because he's sleeping and drooling on it. Poor Simon. I don't know. Maybe he's very. Actually, I think Simon's very a bit of a germaphobe.
I can see that.
I bet that book and his pillow stink of alcohol and Listerine, and
Yeah.
I hope so.
We'll have to check on him.
Very true.
At some point.
One of my favorite, because we were saying how urban legends are global and they're so very often similar. They'll change very slightly, but even there are local urban legends because there are local peculiarities. I had one growing up, a friend of mine who, taught me how to steal. He was a kleptomaniac, and he taught me how to shoplift.
Nice.
That's a
And
good skill to
It's
have.
hard to
really-
get good education on that, so I'm
It
glad you had
really
that.
is. Hey, anyone.
Pete, you never taught me anything as a friend.
Anyone can learn how to do square roots.
That's right.
But do you know how to ask the manager for some help while your friend has a gym bag filling it up with bald product, hair treatment, hair replacement treatment stuff, and then you sell it at the old age home?
I was going to say, how old was your friend?
No, he was in like junior high with me, but then we'd
Gotcha.
go to the old age home and sell the stuff.
I got a job I want to do.
Just put this. I forget.
So what? So what was this legend your friend told you?
This guy, who is now in jail, he told me this story. So we had a mall, very famous and jam-packed mall, which is now closed, called the Sunrise Mall.
Yes.
Massapequa Mall, we'd call it. And there was this one bathroom near one of the escalators. It was kind of like under the escalator. So like if you wanted some privacy or whatever, you'd go to that bathroom, but it was also kind of hidden away. And the urban legend was that if you went into that bathroom alone, one of two things would happen.
Yeah.
Either, as any junior high boy will tell you, they'll cut your dick off.
Who would do that?
The piss freaks.
The what?
The piss freaks. And they would come, and these people would hang out by the bathroom, and if they didn't like your look, they'd cut your dick off. And if they did like your look, they would kidnap you, and they'd bring you into New York City where they had the Piss Freak Club. And they would all hang out in the audience watching while the kids were up on stage, and the other piss freaks would come and piss on you.
Come on.
That is the story. Listen, evidently,
Was Joe Biden involved?
oh, you know he was rubbing the hairy legs of the kids as they were pissing on him. I like when the peas on the
Unfortunately,
leg.
I met up with the poo freaks, and it was a different story altogether.
You know,
Ouch.
there's only one thing worse than a piss freak, and that is, in fact,
Didn't this mall have security? That's outrageous. They could let that happen.
they were in on it.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Because that's the thing.
It crosses over as a conspiracy.
That is very true. You'd run up to the security guards, help me, and then you'd see like in the front of their pants would be a big stain of piss. You're like, no, you're in on it too.
I think your friend had a secret kink, John.
Oh, it wasn't secret.
Yeah, really.
Anyway,
That is some crazy ass shit.
only in Lindy can you, maybe not, maybe somewhere in like I don't know, some town in India. There's some.
We're gonna get an email from somebody in Franklin Square. Oh my God, they were in your mall too.
I guarantee we're going to get emails from people at least all over the country. Any country, I think, that has mall culture or anything. I guarantee there's a piss freak story somewhere in this globe.
I heard an urban legend about the Sunrise Mall too growing up.
What was that?
That if you got to your car late at night, people hid under the car and like sliced your ankles.
Your Achilles heel.
Your Achilles heel, yeah.
Your Achilles tendon. So they couldn't,
tendon.
yes.
Yeah.
So you couldn't run away from them.
Right.
But that's all they did. Like, they never,
Yeah.
like, they cut your Achilles tendon. Like, why are they doing that? It's a lot of work.
Again, it's our worst fears. People doing inexplicably cruel and vicious things to us.
The key word being inexplicable.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
One I was thinking about doing, I was considering the Pop Rocks one with the soda.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Oh, yeah. Mikey died. Mikey
classic.
died from drinking soda and Pop Rocks.
And it's amazing how we heard that one way before the internet. I mean,
Oh, my gosh, yes.
The internet just turbocharged urban legends, but they were around well before the internet. We all heard the Mikey story. If you're Gen X, you heard the Mikey died.
Absolutely.
Another famous one. Yeah, AIDS Mary. You know that famous one?
No.
Mary.
AIDS Mary is when a guy, he's with a woman. She could either be a prostitute or some random woman. He has sex with her. When he wakes up in the morning, she's gone. And on the mirror, written in lipstick, "Welcome to the world of AIDS."
Did he start losing weight?
No.
Was it AIDS?
She deliberately gave him AIDS.
Oh, my God.
So I guess the morality tale there is don't step out on your girlfriend or your wife and something like
Don't
that.
have unprotected sex.
Yeah.
Also, if Mary
Don't
has
leave lipstick around so she can write you that
Right,
message.
right.
What about in the Summer of Love? You know, with this urban legend that if you put flowers and guns, you won't get shot.
Wait a minute.
And that
The
doesn't work.
The high babysitter, right? The babysitter putting the baby in the microwave instead of the turkey,
Yep.
right?
In the ninth.
I didn't hear that one.
Oh, you never. That's a.
That's
famous
when
one.
microwaves started coming around.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Microwaves and acid.
And you had a great combo between the fear of new technology and the fear of drugged out teenagers who could kill your baby in the worst possible way.
Yeah, well, in the 1920s, brokers during
The crash?
during the crash, brokers jumping off in the dozens off.
And
the,
isn't there very little evidence that many people did that?
one person, and it wasn't during the crash, and it had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Well, did he crash?
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. People just promote these stories as if they're true.
It does make a good joke, like the old joke. My uncle, he lost everything, in the crash when people were jumping off the ledge. And was he a broker? No, he was a hot dog guy. Somebody landed on top of his little push cart. It's a joke. Wasn't told well then, and it wasn't told just now very well.
We're still crafting that one.
Yeah, that's been only about 100 years.
Hey, you got to workshop that one a
Yeah.
little bit.
I think it's been 100 years. I think a couple more open mics. I'm going to have it.
So
I'm going to have it down.
Before we bomb anymore, why don't we go around the table and discuss who's doing which urban legend?
Sounds like a good idea there, Tim.
Tim, a fantastical idea. I'm going to go first, and I am bringing you the urban legend of Cropsy.
Cropsy.
My goodness.
What is that?
He has nothing to do with sorghum.
Oh, good. Thank God.
What about reaping? Any reaping?
Little reaping, a lot of sowing.
I see.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Well, this is Pete, and I am bringing to you today the colander lie detector urban legend, if you will.
I have no idea what that's about.
That's a good one.
I can't
It's a
wait
beauty.
to hear that.
Yeah,
All right.
It's a
I've heard
beauty.
that
Okay.
one.
It's a good one.
So this is Scott here, and I have named my presentation today Disney on Ice. That's what I heard.
And I'm Tim, and I will be discussing the bridegroom's revenge.
Vengeful.
Well, everybody, sit back. If the piss freaks are near you, grab a raincoat so you can enjoy this episode. If not,
Or put lots of oil on your face, isn't that right?
definitely a little Vaseline.
Of course.
It'll
That
run
will-
right off you.
Carry
Rub-
around a can of Lysol. Oh, they hate Lysol.
They hate it. And do not go to the security guard at the mall. He won't help you. So,
What do you got, John?
turn down the lights. Grab a beverage if you need to.
Wait, where'd you all go? Oh,
It's okay, Scott. We're all here.
And curl up underneath whatever thing you curl up with. Maybe get a dog next to you. I don't know what you're going to do.
A rock. I got a nice rock.
A rock's good because a rock might keep away Cropsey. The urban legend of Cropsey, a fable, a tall tale, a bit of cautionary mythology, is sandwiched between two very real stories of modern horror. The first starts us off on Staten Island, one of the boroughs of New York City. In 1947, with the opening of Willowbrook State School. Yes. Willowbrook was a massive institution built to house and help children with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
indeed.
For 20 years, that's what it did. Or at least that's what was told to everybody on the outside of the gates of Willowbrook. The school was designed for 4,000, but by 1965, it had a population of 6,000. At the time, it was the biggest state-run institution for people with mental disabilities in the United States. Living conditions at the school were crowded and filthy, and during its first decade of operation, outbreaks of hepatitis were common. Medical researchers initially carried out research on the disease and its effects at the school using the residents as guinea pigs, which was discontinued after public outcry. Just a side note, this isn't the urban legend part. This is all true. The conditions and questionable medical practices and experiments prompted U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy, the good one, to call it a snake pit. The horrors inside were exposed to the public in 1972 when investigative reporter Jerry Rivers, who changed his name to Geraldo Rivera, released a shocking expose showing the inhumane treatment of the children housed there. Of course, the school wouldn't be shut down until 1987. And Geraldo Rivera would never do another newscast that was anything anywhere close to being useful. But with any story that is as replete with dissolute, corrupt depravity as this, you just know that some sort of urban legend will start taking shape, like a Frankenstein monster getting pieced together on the slab. The fact that the Willowbrook School was surrounded by thick, dense forests, well, that was the lightning bolt that shocked the legend of Cropsey to life. Each person who told the legend of Cropsey added their own twist on the story, gifting you a raw-shot blobbed insight into their own deepest fears, like a skin-crawling version of the aristocrats joke. The main gist of the story, though, went like this. A man named George Cropsey, it's always George, who worked at Willowbrook, lost his son in a drowning accident. Just like Phil Collins.
That's right.
That is another urban legend where Phil Collins was at a concert and he wrote "In the Air Tonight."
That's right.
Because he saw somebody. What did he drown his wife or his girlfriend?
So the story goes
Go ahead,
that
tell us,
Phil
Tim.
Collins was at a rental house on a lake. And a woman was drowning, and he looked down, and a man was watching her drown and let her drown. And then Phil Collins wrote "In the Air Tonight" about letting this woman drown, and he was in the concert, the front row, and he sang
The
it.
murderer was in the concert.
And he sang it right to his face. And that guy, I guess, was guilted into, I don't know.
I heard he killed himself.
Yeah, I heard he went insane. My cousin told me
I heard the
that.
music was really bad at that show, though. So.
That's why.
Why is he just staring at the first guy in the first row? So if you want to see a great debunking of that urban legend, there's a clip from Family Guy where Joe, the character Joe, is talking to his wife Bonnie when the song is on. He goes, "Hey, Bonnie, you know the story behind this. Apparently Phil Collins watched a girl drown, and he didn't do anything about it, so he wrote this song. And he saw the guy at the concert." And Bonnie goes, "Well, It kind of sounds like Phil Collins is guilty too. I mean, couldn't he have done something to help the girl?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's not true.
Phil Collins is a murderer.
Well, he couldn't help. His hands were full with drumsticks.
Well, drumsticks, and he was at a fishing lodge on a lake, so he was probably skinning a halibut or something.
Yeah.
It's the halibut that lives in the lake. Shut up, fishing people. I know a halibut doesn't live in the lake.
He was tying flies or something.
There you go.
He was getting a nice perch.
God. Classic.
Anyway, getting back.
That's an incredible impression, by the way, Tim.
That was beautiful.
Nice.
That was beautiful.
Done.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Anyway, getting back to Cropsey.
Please.
The main gist of the story went like this. A man named George Cropsey, who worked at Willowbrook, lost his son in a drowning accident.
That's terrible.
The absolute grief drove him mad. He secluded himself away in the subterranean corridors of the institution and the protective and impenetrable surrounding forest. And that is where he would wait. If he couldn't have his child living on this earth, growing up with his loving father, well, then no one else would.
Oh, that
makes sense.
That's not right.
Phil Collins will tell you it is.
Yeah.
If a child was walking by himself, lost in the woods, then there was only two possible outcomes.
They die or they die. Wait, they die fast or they die slow?
Well, no, I mean, there's, I guess, three. They might eventually find their way out of the forest,
Sure.
or
Let's hope.
Cropsey would get them, and they'd never be seen again. Now, of course, this was a fun bit of fiction that older siblings might tell their younger siblings around a campfire to exact a night of sleeplessness on them. Just pure harmless fun. That is, until children and others began disappearing.
Wait, what?
On July 7th, 1972, 5-year-old Alice Pereira vanished from the area around the Tysons Lane apartments on Staten Island. Pereira was playing in the building's lobby with her brother and disappeared around 3:30 p.m.
Wait, that's not funny.
No, it's not. Especially for the brother.
Scott looks like he's in pain over here.
Well, I mean, yeah, the girl disappeared, and the brother left her briefly alone, and she disappeared. She has not been seen or heard from since. Audrey Lynn Nerenberg, 18, was last seen leaving her family's home in the Canarsie neighborhood of Brooklyn on July 5th, 1977. Nerenberg had told her mother that she would be returning immediately after going 2 blocks to purchase cigarettes, but she has never been heard from again. Ethel Louise Atwell, 42, was last seen October 24th, 1978 at the Willowbrook State School, where she worked as a physical therapy assistant. At 6 a.m., before she could get from the parking lot into her building on the school's campus, 2 female employees heard a male voice outside say, "Come on, come on," and Atwell say, "No, you'll beat me." Jeez. Atwell then screamed. Items belonging to Atwell were discovered by first responders along the left side of her locked car. About 75 feet away in the woods, Atwell's car keys were discovered. No trace of Atwell has been found despite a thorough search of the area. Shin Lee, 44, was a nurse who had gone missing earlier in 1978 from Willowbrook State School under similar circumstances to Atwell. She was reported missing on July 20th and was last seen walking home from the campus towards her home close to midnight. Lee was found murdered by strangulation and buried in a shallow grave near a wooded area on faculty grounds on August 6th, only 2 months prior to Atwell's disappearance.
Yikes.
Holly Ann Hughes, 7, was last seen July 15th, 1981 on Staten Island near Richmond Terrace and Park Avenue. Her mother sent her to the Port Richmond Deli 2 blocks away to purchase a bar of Ivory soap, and she was last seen buying it around 9:30 p.m.
A bar of soap.
She never returned home and has never been heard from again. Hank Gafario, a 22-year-old native of Staten Island, had gone out drinking on June 8th, 1984.
That sounds fun.
Good time. He lived just around the corner from Holly Ann Hughes. His body has never been found. 12-year-old Jennifer Schweiger, born with Down syndrome, was reported missing on July 9th, 1987. Her body was found in a shallow grave after a 35-day search in the grounds around the Willowbrook State School. What do all these people have in common besides Staten Island and the Willowbrook State School? Andre Rand.
Who now?
I have spoken enough to find out what happens
haven't
next.
said anything.
I have said a lot, as I always do. To find out what happens next and to hear why I postulate that this is the worst urban legend, you will have to send me on to the next round.
You're stopping there.
Stopping right there.
Right there.
I am being conservative in
You're cutting us off.
very little except for my giving information about this story. If you want to hear more, you got to send me to the second round. Maybe this all gets tied up. Maybe it doesn't. But I will tell you why this is the worst.
If we pass you on to the second round and it doesn't get tied up, then we're really in a bind.
This is going to get tied up.
This sounds like bribery to me.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe I'm going to tie this story up like I was on stage with the Piss Freaks.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Well, I guess we're supposed to.
You are going to
now?
clap loudly.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That was some exciting stuff.
I love half stories.
Well, it is really about half a story. There's another half to go.
All right. Well,
Well.
I'll move on then. It's passing. He's passing the torch to me,
I am.
and I hate to deprive the poor people who don't have a Patreon subscription to not hear the second half of your story, but
It sounds like you're throwing down the gauntlet.
be
there.
that as it may,
All right.
I'm ready to duke it out.
Pretty sure of yourself. All right, duke away.
Duking it out, and here I come. This is Pete, and I'm bringing to you the story of the colander lie detector. A judge admonished the police in Radnor, Pennsylvania, for pretending a Xerox copy machine was a lie detector. Officials had placed a metal colander on the head of a suspect and attached the colander to the copier with metal wires.
Nice.
In the copy machine was a typewritten message. Quote, "He is lying."
Wait.
That's right. Each time investigators received answers they didn't like, they pushed the copy button. And out popped the message, "He's lying."
Oh, damn. You cops just outsmart me today, man.
A sentient copier.
That's true. That's true. As the story goes, apparently the suspect was convinced the machine was accurate and confessed. Some stories also state that an officer would surreptitiously switch the "he's lying" paper with one saying, "he's telling the truth."
Did you ever? Side note. Did you ever see the Twilight Zone where the computer falls in love with the computer programmer? He's like this geeky guy. And the computer literally, he like asks a question into a microphone, and then these two doors open up, and it's just written text like, you know, "Don't you know I love you? You can't love," and then like the doors will close and then open, and someone in the back is putting a new piece of paper, and it says, "I know what love is. I am a computer." This is evidently whoever fell for this didn't watch that episode of the Twilight Zone.
You
It's
know,
not a good one. They shouldn't have to.
There's lots of lessons in the Twilight Zone.
I wonder if they got the idea from the Twilight Zone.
Gaslighting in space.
Art imitates life. Light imitates arts. Goes both ways.
Very nice.
So anyway, they would switch the paper with "he's telling the truth," and then that one would also be used when is, quote, appropriate. If there is such a thing in this story.
No coercion here.
The colander lie detector story has been part of oral lore since at least the late 1960s. So far, the oldest print sighting comes from an article in the June 22nd, 1977 edition of the Philadelphia Inquirer, which attributed the tale to, quote, a small police department in the county. A version placing the action in Radnor, Pennsylvania, appeared in this wonderfully reliable newspaper called News of the Weird in 1989.
The pamphlet of record.
I used to get that delivered every week.
No source was given, though, so it's now impossible to say where News of the Weird picked the tale from. Can you believe it?
News of the Weird is the only outlet that would publish any of my porn pictures.
Okay.
I made $38.
Anyway, it's a funny thing. I was going to say that in the course of my research, looking at this and other stories, it's like you read one of them and you're like, ooh, that, you read a little bit of a story like, ooh, that could be interesting. And then you find another link to it and you're like, but it's the same exact text. And then another link, it's the same exact text. You're like, does anybody do, you can just change a word, like change to the.
Oh, so people are just dragging, clicking,
It's the same
and saying
thing.
it's theirs. Yeah.
And with no attribution whatsoever.
I'm glad we don't do that.
Yeah, of course not. Heavens no. Anyway, in an attempt to verify or prove the story false, folklorist Jan Brunvand, mentioned earlier, contacted the Radnor Police Department. Their October 10th, 1990 response stated, "The fake lie detector incident referred to in your letter did not happen in Radnor. We do not know how this story originated. However, over the years, we have received numerous letters inquiring about this incident. Articles have been sent to us which appeared in the Wall Street Journal, Playboy, and other publications."
Almost as good as the News of the Weird.
That's right. So, yeah, and they probably just took it verbatim from News of the Weird and plunked it in their own magazine.
Playboy and the
Wall Street Journal.
A Wall Street Journal. Mm-hmm.
And other publications.
Gore Vidal did a wonderful expose on it.
Our guess is that some reporter had the story and used Radnor as the place of occurrence. Sincerely, blah, blah, blah. So, throughout the years, this story has popped up in various, quote, dumb criminals or true tales of the legal profession books, as well as surfacing every now and then in the media. Its popularity continues undimmed, with Ann Landers airing it in her January 4th, 1998 column.
Yeah.
Ann
Way to fact check that, Ann.
That's right.
Good
That's
job.
right. So, yes, we got heavyweights up behind this story. So.
Wow. What did Irma Bomback have to say about it?
Yeah.
There's another legal urban legend that's gone around forever, and this has been thoroughly debunked, and people love telling it. It's the classic story of the criminal who breaks into your house, slips on your floor, and sues you and wins.
What?
Or he steals your car. Your car had faulty brakes, and he crashed it, and he sued you, and he won.
That happened to my cousin.
Lawyers,
Yeah.
bunch of ball-washing bastards.
And that's what it's all about. That's where it comes from. There was this anti-litigation group who started spreading these rumors, these stories. You see, this is how out of control litigation is in this country. We got to do something about it. They love spreading those stories because it makes litigation look terrible. Criminals can break into your house and sue you.
I want to torture
It's
you.
ridiculous. So, I mean, if you, first of all, there's no evidence this has ever happened. And hold it up to scrutiny. Can you imagine a jury who would
Really?
award
Right.
a criminal money for breaking into your home and slipping on the floor? It's absurd.
It's the criminal's whole family.
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah, so we love to tell these horror stories about how the law, it's all backwards and there's no justice, and you see what how they do things, and it's just to me, these urban legends want to corroborate what we believe. We believe that we're getting screwed, there's no justice, and look at that, that's proof of it right there.
It's all these eggheads. They think they're smart.
Didn't you ever hear the story about?
Exactly.
So, yeah, along those lines. Although that's just a funny one with the colander on the head.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So, could the story have happened? It is a remote possibility, and certainly police are tricky enough to want to try something like this, but one has to wonder about the metal colander detail. Though it's reasonable to expect to find cups, plates, and cutlery in a workplace kitchenette, food preparation items are far less common. Colanders are used to drain cooked pasta or wash salad ingredients. They're not exactly standard implements, even in home kitchens, especially metal colanders. Neither pasta draining nor lettuce rinsing are activities usual to a police workplace setting, with the vast majority of
Cops don't eat lettuce.
That's right. The vast majority of brown baggers preferring to bring already prepared meals to work, items that are ready to eat or require only a quick heating in the microwave. In other words,
Firehouses always have.
I
lots of
gotta,
good
I
food,
gotta
though.
jump in here because
Right,
we
right.
have all seen old science fiction movies where somebody dons a painted colander as a helmet. I'm telling you that's how they wove this into the story. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, back in the day, like you got married, someone gave you a colander. Like everyone had colanders.
and what do you do with a colander? Put it on your head, of course.
Got to.
What else you
I
gonna
think
do?
I think stories like these, there might be a grain of truth to it.
Yeah.
The cops did try some kind of trick to get a guy to tell the truth, and it's just been embellished over the years, adding a colander and a copy machine. But there might have been some contraption that they pretended was a lie detector to get a guy to, to
Yeah,
confess.
yeah. So in other
I'm
words,
going clear now. 2 soup cans.
The colander's ridiculous, but holding 2 soup cans and having some guy tell you that you were part of a frozen dinosaur people in a fucking volcano, that's fine. Oh, and it cost you $5,000 to find that out.
Woo!
Good boy.
more than that.
That was back in the day. That was back in the day.
Yeah. So, in other words, no matter how resourceful the officers were, they'd have a tough time laying their hands on a metal colander to use for this deception. And P.S., I have some inside information confirming the lack of colanders of any kind in the local police department. For the colander lie detector story to ring true, we have to suppose that the hapless bad guy was unaware that test results are not given as the test proceeds, i.e. there would be no machine spitting out he's lying notes, nor that the printing device looked remarkably like a photocopier. It is still possible some police department somewhere did indeed act out this legend at one time or another. Judging from the numerous verifiable dumb criminal stories afoot, no shortage exists of bad guys who would fall for it. But did it happen in as many places as now claimed? Very likely not. In common with a number of urban legends, numerous enthusiastic raconteurs have localized the tale by inserting the name of a nearby town. And police departments also have claimed the story as their own, perhaps as a way of reassuring themselves that the good guys do indeed win, and their officers in particular are always 2 steps ahead of the criminals.
And 1 step ahead of a pizza chef. That too.
All right. So what makes that the worst, Pete?
What makes that the worst? Well, I guess I'll just continue here. I have a little bit of information about actual lie detectors,
Okay.
which basically is when you actually look at the way a true lie detector works, it is really not very dissimilar to the way that the colander lie detector works, because it is based on expected autonomic bodily responses to questions that are asked of the person being tested, therefore indicating that the colander premise itself is not absurd, but simply that the equipment being used in it make it a non-starter, i.e. the colander and the wire and the Xerox machine.
I heard it was a Konica.
I heard it was a double boiler and that every single time chocolate would become solid, it meant that they were lying. Yeah. Simon pop in here for a second?
I think he might have.
that?
Simon,
What
he's so good.
Where'd he go?
Scott, you
Wait,
done, Pete?
Pete?
Not really.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
I mean, I have a little more, sure.
All right.
A polygraph test works by measuring someone's physiological responses, which are believed to change when a person is lying.
Yes.
The polygraph, often referred to as a lie detector, is an instrument that records phenomena such as blood pressure, pulse rate, and respiratory rate. These physiological responses are typically involuntary, making them ideal for detecting changes that might indicate deception. During a polygraph test, a pneumograph tube is placed around the subject's chest to measure breathing.
Scott's lying. You're lying.
And a blood pressure cuff is strapped around the arm to monitor cardiovascular activity.
It says I'm lying.
The piece of paper says you're lying, Scott. Oh, no.
Oh no, we killed him.
This piece of paper says if you flash your brights at somebody, a gang member.
That's true, actually.
I heard that too. I saw it on a fax sheet.
Yeah. Happens a lot in Upper Brookville.
Oh, all
People
the
don't know
time.
it. There's gangs up here.
There's only like 3 people left alive because of the gang initiations. It's terrible.
Killer initiations.
MS-11.
All right, Pete. Finish it up here.
Finish it up. Coming on strong. Control questions play a crucial role when administering a polygraph test. These are questions that are designed to elicit either honest answers or lies. By comparing the physiological responses to these control questions with responses to more relevant questions, a polygraph examiner can assess whether the subject is being deceptive. This test is based on the premise that lying produces a different physiological response than telling the truth, which allows an examiner to identify potential deception. Now, how does he's lying fall into these physiological responses?
Maybe it was a smart colander.
Yeah, that's true.
Powered by AI.
Probably, that's probably connected to the intertubes there with some AI. So yeah, there you have it. That's what I have to say, and it's yeah,
Okay.
that's a bad one. It is a bad one because it's yeah, the believability factor is pretty low right there. It's
right.
pretty low, but
Very
yet
good.
featured in Ann Landers and Playboy and Wall Street Journal. So.
So that's the question, Scott. We have to decide what's the worst. What qualifies as the worst?
Yeah.
John's is a terrible story of people going missing, probably being murdered. And Pete's is about something that almost certainly didn't happen because, at least not in the way they describe it, because it's so ridiculous.
I mean, the story I heard is that they used a spatula, not a colander. So I'm already not necessarily leaning in Pete's direction. But
I heard it was a lasagna dish. That's what I heard.
They're both stupid. It was a.
Corningware never lies.
It was an egg beater. It's the only thing that makes sense.
2 egg beaters, I heard.
That's right.
So
For truth and false.
There you go.
what's bizarre in this matchup, Tim, is we have this crazy ass story involving the cops trying to trick someone, presumably, into admitting guilt. And we have this incredibly harrowing tale of missing people, children, murder, shallow graves. But that seems to all be true. So I'm not
Yeah.
really sure where the legend part is here. How do we...
If I may, I told you that I will tell you.
Well, you might have actually, but but go ahead.
I said that I will explain fully at the end how this is an example of the worst urban legend.
I feel like I'm at a casino and I've got a couple of cards showing. All right. Some of the cards may look like a solid hand, perhaps depending on what else plays out. And then I've got this disparate mess of nothing right at this moment. And am I going to ask the croupier to hit me again to see if something comes out of it? I mean, where do we go at this point?
I want disparate.
I'm flummoxed.
I want disparate mess to be on my gravestone.
I think we take a hit because I do. John's got me. I do want to hear more about this story, and I think we've kind of hit. That's a good one that Pete laid out, but we've kind of hit the wall on it. I mean, it is what it is. It probably happened in some variation of that, a little bit, but I'm not sure where else it can go. With John's, I want to hear more of that. I want to see how this ties into an urban legend.
On
The one urban legend that might be actually true.
oh, and that's what makes it the worst.
Yeah, because it's real.
I didn't say that.
Well, I'm going to go with John.
Yeah,
Scott.
really. There's a lot of.
We've never had a tie, so I don't know what
Scott's
we would do.
Yeah, Scott's definitely wondering if he should take that hit or not.
We had a tie once. We flipped a coin, remember?
Did you flip a coin?
And
Oh, yeah.
And I remember how happy everybody was with that
everyone
result.
we'll never do that again.
Remember that?
Was not, yeah, that was not a good call.
Well, it's got to be settled somehow.
Yeah. So
By the way, I like your casino analogy. I would hearken it more to you're on a
One-armed bandit.
You're on one-armed bandit, but
Slot
they don't
machine.
have the. You're on the slot machine and you're playing the Seinfeld slot machine, and you've got everybody except for Kramer, and you're screaming, "Give me a Kramer, give me a Kramer." But a Newman keeps popping up.
That actually helped your case. You want to know why?
Why so?
Because before I left to come here, I was thinking about one of Kramer's, in my opinion, one of his better scenes where Raquel Welch is on the show. And he's telling a story about Raquel Welch being famously hard to work with, and that apparently she was dropping stage lights on people's heads. And he goes, a story like that has got to be true. So, Pete, I'm sorry. John, you better deliver, because this is a shoddy platform to catapult yourself. You best deliver.
I will not disagree that I.
All right, let Pete have it already.
Someone did this once before, and I forget who it was, and it wasn't me. I'm kind of playing a little nasty here.
Okay.
But I guarantee that I will deliver.
All right.
All right. Okay, so John will advance to round 2.
All right. Pete, I'm
All right,
sorry.
Well done.
I'm
Pete.
somewhat begrudgingly clapping now.
All right.
It's a good urban legend. It's a good urban legend, Pete.
It is a good one.
It's got all the hallmarks of a good urban legend.
It's perfect. Well, you know what? I have an urban legend. It's the urban legend of the 5-second music break.
That is spooky.
Supposedly, the guy who wrote this 5-second music break saw someone drowning a lady, and he made it. And then whoever's listening to this and they drowned a lady, they're gonna go insane.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
So, if you have never drowned a lady, we'll see you in 5 seconds. And if you have, we'll see you in the loony bin.
Who let that witch in?
Well, for all the people who are still of their right mind, welcome back.
I'm so scared.
No, Scott, I'm glad to see you're still here because you have some work to do.
I do.
Let's hear.
Am I leading off round 2?
You're leading off round 2, man.
All right.
Let's see it
Batting
done.
third.
My cousin told me that Scott was going to.
Boy, our cousins get into some weird
I'm
shit,
telling you.
don't they?
Crazy.
All right, so let me begin. Like I said, my piece is called Disney on Ice. That's what I heard. So if I asked my worstest co-host to tell me, when you were growing up, what did you hear about Walt Disney and what happened to him after he died? What would you tell me?
He was bankrupt and loved smoking cigarettes.
Well, I definitely heard the cigarettes thing.
And bankrupt. Of course, everyone knows that he was frozen cryogenically.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the story I remember.
Because he saw someone drowning someone in a pond and he couldn't live with himself.
No, it's all bogus. So, yes, that's the story I absolutely heard. He had himself frozen after death. And the reason for this was simple. There was no cure at the time of his demise for the lung cancer that killed him. So, preserving Mr. Disney would, 1, allow science to continue to study and conduct research on his disease. 2, that this research would lead to the development of a cure for cancer. And then 3, the doctors would place Walt on the kitchen counter to defrost for the purpose of being reanimated and then treated.
Do another Mickey.
Yes, simple indeed. Now, similar to Pete, I had to look at multiple sources in an attempt to wrap my hands and my head around this story. I found articles from PBS, Popular Mechanics. I'm telling you, okay, Snopes.com.
Do this at home.
And while the urban legend itself is pretty straightforward, the story about how it arose, it's a bit confusing. The first report alleging this took place came about in early 1967. This was only a few short weeks after Walt's death. He died on December 15th of 1966. So a reporter for a tabloid newspaper, boy, they're coming up a lot in these things, huh? A tabloid newspaper called the National Spotlight, that is spelled, folks, Lite, not Light, claimed that he, the reporter, had snuck into St. Joseph's Hospital in Burbank. This hospital was treating Disney during the final stages of his illness. The reporter claimed that he disguised himself as an orderly, as one does, broke into a storage room, how he knew which one, I don't know, and saw the deceased Walt Disney lying in a cryogenic metal cylinder. Totally believable, right? Gotta be honest. Some of the sources I came across even questioned the existence of the reporter and the tabloid. And to me, that just adds to the urban legend factor. This national spotlight story was followed up by other articles, including in the French People and Celebrities magazine. I'll try this one out. Iche Paris, and the American publication called, I love this, The National Tattler, which claimed that Disney would be thawed out in 1975.
What was he?
I'm actually not sure, Tim. Sorry.
I don't think they cured lung cancer till 77.
Oh, at least it took at least that long, right? So the claims of Walt Disney being frozen were in the public consciousness almost immediately following his December 66 death. Now, I believe this would be a good time for me to mention cryogenics. Cryogenics is a branch of physics that deals with the production and effects of very, very low temperatures. The cryogenic temperature range is from minus 150 degrees Celsius, that would be minus 238 Fahrenheit to you and me, to absolute zero, minus 273 Celsius, or a whopping minus or negative 460 Fahrenheit. At cryogenic temperatures, a material's properties, like its strength, its thermal conductivity, they are altered. This does hold theoretical and commercial importance. Cryogenics apparently started in 1877 when oxygen was cooled to a liquid state. In 1908...
I thought he was going to say when Walt Disney was born.
he was born December 5th of 1901. So a little bit before that, about a quarter of a century before that. In 1908, helium was liquefied, and that led to the discovery of superconductivity. Cryogenics is used for storing and transporting liquefied natural gas and preserving food. It also has applications in cryosurgery and for space vehicles and space travel. An example of its use in cryosurgery is the removal of a wart or a skin tag by a dermatologist using liquid nitrogen to freeze and destroy the abnormal tissue. It's also
That's
used...
how I got rid of one of my third nipples. I had three.
One of them.
I had 3 third nipples.
Hello, Scaramanga.
Science.
Yes. It can also be used to freeze internal tumors, such as a small early stage kidney, liver, or prostate cancer. In 1981, the U.S. Space Shuttle Columbia was launched with the aid of both liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen propellants. Now, we've talked about cryogenics. It's time to bring cryonics into the conversation. Ooh. Cryonics is something altogether different. This, cryonics, is the practice or technique of deep freezing the bodies of people who have just died in the hope, I want to underline and capitalize that word, that scientific advances may allow them to be revived and then restored to a healthy living condition.
Is that what Obama was talking about?
Yes, I think that was all written on the back of his birth certificate. It didn't exist.
I thought hope was just about, all right.
So, has anyone ever been cryonically preserved? Yes, a few people have. With perhaps...
I thought you were asking us.
No, I'm going to tell you.
My cousin was.
Was he in the back of a car too?
And he had a knife frozen to his arm. He was in the back seat of a car.
He had a hook. He had a hook for his hand.
Right.
The hook wouldn't freeze, though.
Happy hook hands.
Yeah.
I heard that's why he froze, because of the hook. Because it had a great thermal coupling to his wrist.
That makes sense.
And all the cold went inside his bones, traveled inside his bones. That's how they get you.
That makes perfect sense.
It
Right.
really, really does.
Scott, please continue.
That clears it all up.
So I went with this one example because it's somebody that most people have heard of. So the most famous person that I could think of that was cryonically preserved was Baseball Hall of Famer Ted Williams.
I did hear that. I remember that.
Teddy Ball Game, the Splendid Splinter. I didn't make that up. That is that.
Actually, if you got News of the Weird, that was what my porno movie was called. The Splendid Splinter. That was my porn name.
I can't get it out of my palm.
Oh no. Get it out or it'll be infected. I think there's some sap in there. Well, at least Ted Williams, he's a big ball player. I even know who he is. Nothing could go wrong with this story.
Well, hang on. So I've got a few facts just to give you some of his bona fides. Played his entire 19-year Major League Baseball career primarily as a left fielder for the Boston Red Sox. He played from 39 to 1960, and that was with also taking 2 breaks to go fight in 2 different wars.
That's right. He was a Marine fighter pilot.
This guy is an American classic, and I'm saying that as a Yankees fan.
I had the Ted Williams batter up wiffle ball electronic pitcher in my backyard.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Nice.
And if you've ever seen John play wiffle ball, you'd know how much it helped him.
I thought they were edible. I thought it was a snack. I used it to throw cupcakes into my mouth while I watched the Poseidon Adventure on Channel 7.
Great movie.
My Linda.
Linda! And you killed her!
Preacher!
Rogo! She was one fine lady. One fine
How
lady.
do you spell Rogo?
I'm sure there's G's
Oh,
and
I
H's
think it was
in there.
R-O-G-O. Mike Rogo? Rogo?
yeah, that was the
I always said it was R-O-G-O.
Preacher! Preacher! The only thing I ever loved, my Linda, and you killed her!
This is now the Poseidon podcast.
I think so.
We just repeat Ernest's 9 lines.
That is such a great movie, though.
Oh, our network is going to be fantastic.
So Williams, he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1966. Wait, that's the same year that Walt died. Bum bum bum.
A chill went through the air. Maybe it's fear, or maybe it's cryonics.
So look, I'm gonna skip ahead, and I want to get to the good part, sort of. Following his death, this is Williams's death, July 5th of 2002. He had his body and head cryonically frozen separately at the Alcor Life Extension Foundation in Arizona. This decision sparked a legal battle with his daughter, who wanted him cremated, and allegations arose about the mishandling of his remains. So maybe if I'm lucky to move on, okay, no pressure, gents, I might talk a little bit more about some of the weird stuff about Ted Williams and his frozen head and body. But I'm jumping right into my summary. So let me summarize why I think this urban legend is the worstest. Well, certainly, and there was a pervasiveness to this. If you're an American or someone who's been living in America during Disney's reign of era, that's ERA, okay, to everyone out there listening, then your life has been impacted by Walt Disney, the man, and his behemoth, multinational mass media and entertainment conglomerate currently known as the Walt Disney Company. But as I think I demonstrated at the beginning of my presentation, we've also been overexposed to this Walt Disney's myth, the urban legend. It was everywhere. Friends, family, neighbors, acquaintances. Everyone has heard about Walt.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He's basically a popsicle, right?
And I think this is the mark of a truly worstest entry, that this urban legend has spread far and wide, infecting us all like a virus. Well, dear listeners, I've got the cure. So where is Walt? In late 1966, Walt Disney's health had been deteriorating for many months. He finally agreed to enter St. Joseph's Hospital in California on November 2nd, 1966, for tests concerning the pain in his leg and neck. Doctors discovered, unfortunately, a walnut-sized spot on the X-ray of his left lung, and they advised immediate surgery. Disney left the hospital to attend to studio business for a few days, then re-entered St. Joseph's on Sunday, November 6th for the surgery. The next day's operation, the doctors discovered his left lung to be quite cancerous, so they removed it. Oversized lymph nodes indicated that Walt Disney did not have much longer to live. He received 2 weeks of post-operative care and was once again released. Walt reportedly, believe it or not, this hospital was across the street from the Disney studios. So he left the hospital, crossed the street, and went into the Disney studios and spent another 10 days tending to business, visiting with relatives, before growing too weak. He's back in the hospital on November 30th. He was failing more rapidly than was expected. The drugs, the cobalt treatments made him even weaker. Walt Disney left this small world after all of 2 weeks later due to his circulatory system collapsing on the morning of December 15th in the year 1966. While rumors have swirled, someone very close to Walt, his daughter Diane, wrote in 1972, "There is absolutely no truth to the rumor that my father, Walt Disney, wished to be frozen. I doubt my father had ever heard of cryonics. Available documentation indicates that Walt Disney was, in fact, wait for it, cremated." So, for my final wrap-up in this round...
Cremated? What a crazy
Yeah,
story.
really, how boring, right?
God.
It's kind of the opposite of being frozen.
I'm telling you. Yes, indeed it is. So, like Pinocchio, the collective noses of Americans have grown as we continue to pass along this falsehood. I would say that the truth about Walt should be as plain as the nose on our face, but that snout of ours is so big we can't see it anymore. We should all feel so dumboed, yes, that we ever believed, even for a moment, that parts of Mr. Disney were chilling in the bottom back corner of the freezer next to the old Bomb Pops and the Good Humor Strawberry Shortcake Bar that nobody wanted. Cryonic stasis? Really? What do you think happened? Did Walt ask the absent-minded professor to put down the flubber and get to work on building my coffin-shaped Frigidaire? Of course he didn't. Can we all just finally admit that old Walt Disney is deader than old Yeller? I think we should. Thank you.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, sure. Believe his daughter, right? What about the guy who found the frozen corpse?
Yes.
Why don't we ask him?
He's showing a spot LITE on this mystery.
But he is a news fella, you know.
With no name.
They're dedicated to the truth. Well,
There once was an orderly without any name.
he found a frozen Walt Disney
So
in
anyway,
the morgue. You can't.
you can't feel your fingers.
He was dressed as Minnie Mouse too.
Well, that's what I heard.
That was his kink.
My cousin told me that.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'd rather that than the water sports we were talking about earlier.
Really?
He sold him the Mickey Mouse costume. That's how I know.
That makes sense. That
my
makes
cousin
sense.
worked at a costume shop right across the street in Burbank.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Burbank costume store.
Burbank costume.
Yeah.
I've heard of that place.
Yeah, it was good. It's good.
Did you know that a whole bunch of spiders got loose in that costume store? And then people bought clothes there, and those spiders got spread all across the United States?
That's because there was a girl with a beehive hairdo, and all the spiders were inside of it because she didn't clean herself.
That's right.
And she sneezed, and when her hair flung, all the spiders went out, and they were poisonous. A lot of people died. Black widows, Black widows, very dangerous.
You know, another person I know, well, my cousin knows them. She got bit by a spider, and it got redder and redder. And then when her mom went to put stuff on it,
Like Lancet or something?
yeah, it exploded.
What?
And it wasn't a bite; it was
What?
eggs.
Eggs.
Spider eggs went everywhere.
Spider babies.
Oh,
Yeah.
spider babies.
It was gross.
They're terrible.
Yeah, I was.
Did those spider eggs come out of that bubble yum stuff?
Yes. Yes. That's
right.
That's how they make it so soft because it's all spiders. And if you swallow it,
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you what happens.
All right. Can I tell you my urban legend?
Please,
the last
please.
urban legend of the evening.
I think that's all we can take, Tim.
All
You know,
right.
Tim's looking rather vengeful at this moment.
Yes. Okay, so this is called The Avenging Bridegroom.
He looks
Now.
so scared.
This story made the rounds in 1995 when the internet was still young. But I'm going to read the story as it's articulated by Snopes, a fantastic fact-check website. Sorry, fact-check-based website.
Love 'em.
Yeah, love Snopes.
Funny
this
name, too.
Snopes is the website that Joe used to debunk the myth that In the Air Tonight was actually about Phil Collins seeing someone drown.
Wait, who?
Phil Collins. That's the one, Scott. All right, so here's the story as told by Snopes. If any of you guys out there have ever thought you had balls, forget about it. This is a true story. It just happened at a wedding at Clemson. A buddy of mine from my baseball team knows a guy that was at the wedding. This was a huge wedding, about 300 guests. Wow. After the wedding at the reception, the groom got up on stage, the microphone, to talk to the crowd. He said he wanted to thank everyone for coming, many from long distances, to support them at their wedding. He especially wanted to thank the brides and groom's families for coming. To thank everyone for coming and bring gifts and everything, he said he wanted to give everyone a gift from him. So taped to the bottom of everyone's chair was a manila envelope. He said that was his gift to everyone and told them to open it.
Was it money?
No, John. Inside the manila envelope was an 8x10 picture of his best man having sex with his bride. What? That's right. He must have gotten suspicious of the two of them, and he hired a private detective to trail him. After he stood there and watched people's reactions for a couple of minutes, he turned to the best man and said, "Fuck you." He turned to the bride and said, "Fuck you." Then he said, "I'm out of here." Got the marriage annulled the next day. That's right. You know, guys, while most of us would have broken it off immediately after we found out about the affair, this guy goes through with it anyway. His revenge? Making the bride's parents pay for a 300-guest wedding and reception.
Yeah.
Letting everyone know exactly what happened and trashing the bride's and best man's reputation in front of friends, family, grandparents, etc. This is his world. We just live in it.
Yeah.
Double birds for everybody.
And he ordered the steak and the fish. Screw you, Linda.
That's right.
She's not my Linda anymore.
Man, what a bunch of bullshit.
No, I saw it.
So, this story can be traced back to 1985, and it's about a bride who, when finding out that her husband or her fiance slept with the maid of honor, she humiliates him by saying, "I want to thank you all for being here, all the beautiful gifts you've given me." And then she turns to her husband-to-be to say, "And I want to thank you for sleeping with my maid of honor last night." The bride then deposits her bouquet in the groom's face and storms out of the church.
Whoa.
So, this is the male version, and by the mid-90s, well, things were getting a little bit more intense, shall we say. The internet tended to sort of ramp things up a bit.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't ever seen that on the internet.
Yeah. So you can kind of see what's happening in this urban legend. Scott, you okay?
So I know this guy, he drove his Sherman tank right into the church and then fired off the main cannon.
Yeah.
And then he ate his wife.
Yeah.
Ate her right there.
He said, "Fuck you, father."
3 bites. And then he sold the father-in-law to the piss freaks.
All right, so what's happening here?
I don't know.
Well, about your story, I don't know about your story.
Oh, I do.
Clearly, the piss freaks are real. They're real.
Obviously.
They're inside the house.
So clearly,
The flushing's coming from inside the house.
we shan't recover from this. So clearly, the person who concocted this is dealing with some very deep-seated anxieties about trust and a fear of betrayal, right? So, I mean, there is a deep, deep fear of that going on here. And you can tell by the way it's written, the fuck yous, like this guy had balls. Like the person who's making this whole story up or embellishing it has a real fear of being betrayed. He obviously has a deep-seated fear of women, that they can't be trusted.
That's what's interesting. The misogyny, once again, like just the women hating the groom in the first story, the original story, right?
Yeah.
The groom slept with the maid of honor.
Big
Happens
mistake.
all the time.
Right.
But she throws the flowers back and also, women are so simple. That's all that she did. But when a man does
Right.
it, he makes 300 photos. What photo place do you go to?
Yeah.
I'd like 300 black and white.
8 by 10, glossy.
I'll also need 300 envelopes, some duct tape, and and glossy. I think would really capture.
Yeah. And as it's mentioned in the website, who put all of these pictures there? Like, was this like catering staff tasked with putting 300 manila envelopes under people's chairs?
Hey, these are some pictures of my wife to be en flagrante delicto. Could you just tape it to the bottom of all the seats?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not to mention, assuming that this man, this groom, has his parents, his grandparents, maybe aunts and uncles. He's going to actually do this and open that up, Mom and Dad. I want to see, my bride-to-be fucking my best man. I need you to see this too.
Turns to the priest. Father, this is my new wife. Taking it in the pail.
I mean, so we're supposed to think this guy is cool. Bless you, my son.
Oh, I know.
I had her too. I'm sorry. Fuck you, father. Sorry. I'm not trying to scream into the mic here. There's a real vitriol to this story.
Incredibly so.
Yeah, it's angry. By the way, do you guys remember reading this in the 90s?
Oh, yeah.
I totally remember getting this in my email. The first job I ever had out of college. I was 1995. I was working in the city, and I distinctly remember getting this email and talking about it with my coworkers, my other lunkhead coworkers. Like, wow, man, that guy really got him. We were so impressed. Now that we're older, a little wiser, you really can see it for what it is. It's just this angry, misogynistic, just nasty.
I heard on the way back home, somebody flashed their lights at him, and he flashed it back, and he's dead now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But he got initiated, didn't he, into a gang?
It was either they were going to kill him,
Right.
or he gets initiated into the gang.
Then they found out he got cucked, so he couldn't be in the gang.
That's right.
If you cucked, you can't be in the gang.
That's right. It's the Cuck 13.
So they initiated him
gang.
and then killed him. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Father, you heard of the Holy Grail. Look at her taking it in the holy pail.
I mean, can you imagine? You're just not only are you taking it out on your and your wife. You went through the motions of getting married. You got to get it annulled now. Yeah, I mean, like you're going all
Could you
out
imagine
there.
the conversation at the photomat? Sir, I'm sorry. What is this a picture
What
of?
is it? You want 300 of them?
I said 300 copies, glossy, in manila envelopes, and a roll of duct tape. Ask no questions.
I need it by Saturday at 3. Because that's when I'm going to tell the staff to put it under the chairs.
And at 3:01, I'm going to tell everyone, fuck you!
Andre.
So, to their credit, they actually called all of these different because someone traced it back to where it happened at some. They claimed to happen at a catering hall in Schenectady. So they called this place. Yep, they called this place, and the person who answered said, "We get these calls all of the time." Yep, they said it never happened here. We don't know where it came from, but we assure you,
I've never seen a pail.
it's never happened. So anytime they find someone who claims, no, my cousin was there, they say track him down, and they never can find the person who claims that they were there. So
Manila envelopes only come in rolls of 150 anyway, so...
Well, also, what did the bride's parents do? You're actually going to drag them into this in your little revenge scheme?
Yeah. Seriously, I was thinking that before.
Yeah.
These poor people, they can't help it. Their daughters are who.
That's right.
Fuck you.
Well, you know what? This guy's
This
this guy doesn't have balls. This guy's an asshole. Like
Yeah,
it's probably
really.
why this,
Oh my
this
gosh.
fictional guy's fiance cheated on him. He's a dick.
I am sweating. I'm laughing so hard. Oh my gosh.
I really am. I'm all for the bride.
yeah.
And
He had it coming.
the best man. I hope they have a good life together in Schenectady.
So what
I
I
used
want
to go to a tattoo fest in Schenectady at the
really?
Schenectady Armory
Okay.
many years, every
wow.
year. The Am Jam Tattoo Festival. It was a good time. I got stories. I'll tell you one.
Is that where the guy got his Sherman tank at that armory?
Oh, Tank Man. We'll talk about Tank Man one day. He's my hero.
So I'll go into more detail on this and the origins of it, background, and very, very interesting how they try to track it down. But once again, it is 100% an urban legend. It never happened. I think it's the worst because it's just it's nasty, and it really shows by the mid-'90s. People were getting angrier and bitter, and the internet was just a way to kind of turbocharge this.
Sure.
And you know what it reminds me? It reminds me. Did you see the documentary on the Woodstock?
Oh,
Was it
92?
20 or 99?
Was it 25 or 30 years? I think it was 1999. Yeah, it was 99.
30 years.
30
Yeah,
years.
30 years.
The one with all the sewage flooding and the
Oh
raping?
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, the
The
sexual
fire.
assaults.
Yeah.
like that's who I
Limp-
picture.
Limp Bizkit,
Yeah,
right?
Limp
Yes.
Bizkit. That's who I picture writing something like that. Those kind of guys
Yes.
who are at that festival and their behavior. That's who I picture. That's what it embodies for me. Just this nastiness, this misogynistic, ugly, just, gross mentality. So, yeah, hate to end on a sour note like that, but hey, this is the worst after all.
I have to say, boy, I don't think I've ever clapped for an opponent this hard. GD, man, that was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I believe Pete and I
Yep.
have the arduous task.
We do. We have it ahead of us.
Choose. Are you feeling one way or another right now?
Yeah, I think I was always kind of questioning the how the Disney story was going to play out to be the worst urban legend compared to Tim's story. I think I have to go with the Revenge of the Bridegroom as a worstest or a worser story than the Disney frozen body.
I concur. I
Yeah.
concur. An excellent, as always, Scott. An excellent, excellent.
Yep.
It's okay. I know when I've met my match.
Well, maybe if you threw some liquid nitrogen.
Maybe if I only told half a Walt's story, I would have made it.
Maybe. I think I see some logic here. All right, well,
Next
So,
time,
yeah,
I'm just
that's
going to
how it
read
is.
my headline. That's it.
If you want to hear more, send me to the second. And here's $20 for each of you.
yeah, right.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done, boys.
Yeah, very good.
And Tim
Once
moves on.
again,
Thank
both
you.
were fantastic. The bridegroom is bad. I do remember that. And, once again, before we break for our little break, if you want to hear Scott and Pete's second half, you still can. They're not being thrown into the dustbin of history. Just join up to our Patreon once we get that going on, and you can hear exactly what you're missing out. But until that happens, for those of you who have not been driven mad by that little bit of music earlier, here it is again.
Here it comes, baby.
All right, part 2.
We back.
It is.
All right.
We are back. We are back.
We be back.
Tim, I'm making a judgment call here. All right. John has to go first.
Oh, sure.
Yes. Well, I will, because that is the way it is done. As was written in the scriptures 3,000 years ago, the worstest podcast scriptures. Would Joseph Smith's Mormonism be an urban legend? The urban legend of the golden plates
The Angel Maroney.
and the angel Moroni Parmesan?
Where did he get that? Did he hang out at an Italian restaurant the night before?
Yeah.
How did he get that name?
He was at Moroni's in Northport. He got some meatballs. I like these meatballs.
It wasn't upstate New York when he found them, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the Maronis.
Maybe.
I'm not a practicing Mormon, so he found magic meatballs upstate.
No, tablets.
Oh.
Golden tablets. I
Oh,
think,
right. No, those I've heard.
No,
Buried
they
in
were
his backyard.
antacid tablets. After
that's
the
right.
meatballs, he had a little case of the stomach.
That makes sense.
And
now.
so then those tablets were given to him by Jesus, who was hanging out in Missouri.
Right.
Because,
Branson.
Missouri, where Yakov Smirnoff has a community theater.
He's done very well for himself.
Actually is a gigantic community theater.
Yeah.
It's like a dinner theater kind of thing. Yakov Smirnoff, that's his thing.
Yeah. He was a one-joke pony, but, man, he has done quite well for himself.
In Soviet Russia, theater is community to you.
He did have one pretty funny joke. He says, I make fun of Cleveland. Every country has a city they make fun of. In Russia, it's Cleveland.
That's pretty good.
That is a very good
That
joke.
was a good joke.
That is a good joke. Well, have your mirth now, because we're going to dive into part 2 of the urban legend of Cropsey, or what makes the urban legend of Cropsey the worst.
Okay.
Somebody named Andre Rand.
Andre Rand.
Okay. Can't believe I remembered that.
And I can't believe it's literally the first thing
I
on
think
the
that's
sentence.
because it's the only fact you gave us.
Well, no, I gave you
No,
all the
I'm
facts.
kidding. I keyed.
Okay. Andre Rand was born sometime in the 1940s. By the year 1983, Andre worked as a custodian at the Willowbrook State School of Staten Island. That year, he took out a school bus with 11 kids in it, without authorization from the school, and drove the bus to New Jersey's Newark Liberty International Airport. The children were rescued later that day, and Andre was sentenced to 10 months in jail. Even after that, parents would see Rand randomly hanging out with the kids in the neighborhood, although he was much older than they were. He would try to befriend them, go to walks with them, and even take them to the local diner for a bite to eat. He would also often be the last person to be seen with missing children. Even still, there was only speculation. There was never any action taken until 1988, after the disappearance of Jennifer Schweiger. It was the first disappearance with which Rand was legally tied. He was accused of, and had ties to, all of the other disappearances, whether working as a house painter in their building, a maintenance man at their work, or camping in the woods near their last known location. Hank Gafforio was last seen with Rand enjoying a meal at that diner. Ultimately, Rand was found guilty in 2 of those cases. Of kidnapping, in the case of Schweiger, the jury could not come to a verdict on the murder charge. He was found guilty of kidnapping Holly Ann Hughes. Officers and inmates at the prison where Rand is currently incarcerated testified regarding conversations in which he allegedly bragged about his pedophilic exploits. He reportedly confessed Hughes' murder to an inmate and compared himself to the serial killer Ted Bundy. He is up for parole in 2037.
Oh, hell no.
He will be in his 90s.
Okay. So, not getting out anyway, but even if he did,
No.
if he's even alive.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he is. So, the question, what makes this the worst urban legend? Urban legends are, at their heart, a way of imparting caution to someone who might not be capable of understanding logic and reason. We tell a sailor, there be monsters beyond this latitude, because no one has come back alive from past that latitude. If you simply say that to someone, they'll take it as a dare and head directly to that position on the map. But if a cartographer, a person with the power of knowledge and authority, says it, we probably better stay away from there, Vasco. You don't want your kid to touch a bottle on the workbench. That stuff will take your hand off if you go near it.
Don't touch Dad's bourbon.
That won't take the edge off. If you don't want them to go in the water after you've had your afternoon vodka gimlet,
wait a half hour before swimming or you'll get a cramp. That's what that's all about. If not a vodka gimlet, the parents would be eating lunch. Wait a half hour. We don't want to be running around right now.
This rusty nail hasn't settled yet.
Exactly. Wait a half hour. Your boozy nap will be over then. These stories are ways of telling people that might not listen, do this. You make it big. You make it enormous. And you make them safe. But when it comes to the urban legend of Cropsey, a cautionary tale for kids to stay away from the forest, probably so they won't get lost and we lose a day looking for them. But that particular urban legend failed. It protected no one. It didn't protect our sense of safety and autonomy over an immediate future that we ultimately have no control over. And it didn't protect our children.
Wow. Man, heavy. Well done, sir.
I hope the delivered product was worthy of what I was jazz handsing it over.
It was very good.
It worked.
All right. Well, I'm going
Thank
to
you.
lighten the mood a little.
The day the laughter died.
Lighten the mood by telling us about cheating spouses.
And the SS Poseidon.
Some people lived. The steel at Rudder Alley's only 1 inch thick. Do you know how thick 1 inch of steel is, kid?
I will not do the entire movie, but I could.
Jack Albertson got out of there. You know he was going to be okay. He's a tough old bastard.
In Willy Wonka, he was a scumbag, and in that movie, he was a scumbag.
John, he's a survivor.
What, because he let his wife swim instead of him? She was the champion swimmer in high school.
In high school.
In high school, I was a very thin woman.
Jack Albertson's got a lot to answer for, John. I
That
think you're right.
motherfucker's got blood on both his hands and fizzy lifting drinks. Fuck Grandpa
That's how
Joe.
they know he touched the bottle.
If you turn that fizzy lifting drink bottle around, there's a picture of my wife having sex with Willy Wonka. Grandma Georgina, you slut.
She got Oompa Loompa.
Belch, Charlie, belch.
You killed her, Wonka! You killed her! She fell into the chocolate river, my Linda!
Wonka, you animal.
Oh my gosh.
I never thought that I would see people ending their mortality.
It's a great crossover episode.
Oh my gosh.
But suddenly I begin to see.
A golden ticket to the SS Poseidon. Right for a crossover movie. All right.
Oh, man.
So, when Snopes did a little fact-checking on the Bridegroom's Revenge,
As Snopes will do.
yes, he called Gene Bryant, director of sales at the Clarion Somerset Hotel in Nashua, New Hampshire, where another possible location for this Bridegroom's Revenge happened. Gene Bryant said, "I've heard that. Just when you think you've heard everything, I'll ask someone on the banquet staff and call you back." He called back. Didn't happen here, but it did happen in New Hampshire. Someone on our staff heard it on the radio. I think it was Kiss 108.
But it wasn't the best man. It was New Hampshire, so it happened with a beaver.
So, of course, it was a morning show that started this. What else but those dreadful morning zoo shows in the 90s?
Waka waka.
Yeah. that
Whoa!
Yeah.
And now we have someone on the hotline.
Oh, my God.
Hotline, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen?
Well, my cousin.
Exactly. David Cross did a fantastic bit about how all those guys sound the same. Like, you know, you got one like guy like this. He sounds like this, and he's got an animal name, like he's the bear, you know?
And then you get another guy like this. He's like the crazy guy. Like he's the crazy doctor.
And they all sound the same, basically. So this was
I'm the moribund chiropodist.
the WXKS Medford, Massachusetts. Seems as a morning show with a feature about weird weddings. Listeners called in to share. This was also heard by someone on a radio station in Chicago. In this case, the 8x10 manila folders was not taped to the bottom of the chair, but was underneath the plates. So I guess that would have been a little easier to do, I suppose.
I think I've heard the plate one.
Yeah.
I think that's how I heard it.
Yeah. But then again, someone said, wait a minute, if you put it under the plate, wouldn't people peek? They'd
Yeah,
want
it'd
to
be
see
too
what's
easy.
in there,
Yeah.
right? The tip that came from the place in Schenectady, Glenn Sanders Mansion in Scotia, New York, near Schenectady. This was the classic colleague, sister's, housemate's, nephew's, wife's colleague heard it and swore it was true.
7 degrees of truth.
Yeah, they called Kimberly Kaminsky, who has been delegated to handle these kind of inquiries. She said it didn't happen. We've had over 300 calls about this, 5 to 10 calls a day. Some people even say they were there. She claimed it came out of a project in a marketing class at Schenectady County Community College. They were doing an experiment in how word of mouth travels. Okay, so they called Schenectady County Community College. It turns out that they said, well, we don't have any marketing classes this semester, but there is one professor I can ask. She asked Toby Strianese, chairman of the Hotel Culinary and Tourism Department. He heard the story from his wife, who, of course, heard it on the radio. He heard it from the dean's secretary, who heard it at a cocktail party.
It's like a feedback circuit.
Exactly, yeah. He told the story in class while his students were working on a marketing plan to illustrate how rumors get started and can hurt a business. There were 2 students who work at the Glenn Sanders Mansion, and he asked them if the story was true. They said it wasn't. So then another student said he had a cousin who was actually at the wedding. Strianese said, find out from the cousin what day the wedding was, what was the name of the groom. The student, of course, never reported back. It is clearly an impossible story, said Strianese, who has worked in the business for 30 years. Restaurant business. Most people, if they think there will be a favor at the wedding, pick up the plate first thing to see if it's underneath. Also, who would have to put the pictures under the plates? It'd have to be the staff, because the groom would have been at the ceremony at the time the plates are being put out. And a staff person would not have been able to resist looking at the picture and talking about it. The whole thread would have unraveled right at that point.
See, if I was on the staff, I would see it and I'd be like, make sure you do not look at that. It is amazing. Do not look, and be like, hey.
Yeah. So again, it's one of those things where it's been passed around so many different places. People, I guess, want to believe it because it's a great story of revenge, because I guess we're all afraid of being betrayed by the one we think we love the most. And people just keep holding on to it, but didn't happen. And again, it's kind of nasty.
For sure. I mean, I guess everyone's been done up a treat, and in your mind, you've concocted, man, I wish I could get back at that person. And this is like the ultimate expression of fantasy of that,
I guess.
if you will.
Yeah.
But then, ask yourself, how would you feel if you're at that wedding? Let's say you're just a cousin. We've been using cousins a lot today. You're a first
Cousins,
or second
friends too. Don't forget them.
Yeah. First, second cousin. And that happens. And you got dressed up. Maybe you traveled far to get there.
Sure.
You got a gift. And now it's like, this is just the most awkward situation ever. And it's, what do we do?
Is
it's
it
over.
is it an open bar?
Oh, well, yeah.
Then
it's time to go.
That's a good point.
This guy just ruined everything. This guy's an asshole. You know, you should have just
could-
stopped it beforehand.
Could I get my $20 back?
Yeah, I'm ripping up your check, jerk off.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, again, we're celebrating people like this, but if you really think about what's happening, if this person doesn't exist at all, obviously, if they did, they're a terrible person.
It also stinks very much of like incel culture.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. It very much has that kind of incel.
Gonna get back at the women.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think it's the worst for that reason. Easily debunked. There's a certain amount of, again, vitriol to it, and I will leave it at that.
Okay. All right, then.
All right. Well, there they have it.
All right. Thank you.
The 2 finalists. John with his, let's say, the Willowbrook. Actually, I'm really not sure what the urban legend was in your story.
The urban legend is the legend of Cropsey, that if you go into the woods, you will disappear. You will be taken. And that urban legend came about long before the disappearances. Back when it was built, Willowbrook in 1947, that area, we think of New York City, it's a borough of New York City, but Staten Island is very much like Long Island. And back then, it was tons and tons of forest. And even still, that's a kind of remote area even today. It's not a teeming metropolitan area. And it is, once again, it's
Right in the middle of the garbage dump.
It's between the garbage dump and the mall.
Nice.
You know, I looked him up. Apparently, Andre Rand's mother was institutionalized at Pilgrim Psychiatric in Brentwood.
Really? I think I saw that in one of the
Nice tie-in right there.
Strange coincidence, right? Yeah.
So we have
So it sounds to me like
Go
the urban legend then is that the legend existed before the actual morbid details.
The urban legend is that there is a man, George Cropsey, who would come and get you and take you. And that story was told for decades, and then
Actually happened.
it actually happened.
That's wild.
so
And once again, as I say,
your premise.
my premise, thank you, is that once again, these are tales. Ultimately, we talked a lot about what urban legends are, and one of the things they are tales of caution. And that tale of caution, which was told for decades before Mr. Rand came on the scene, those tales of caution did not work. They didn't save people. So ultimately, the goal of an urban legend is to the goal of an urban legend is to protect people, and it did not do that. And there's a high body count to attest to that fact.
Yeah.
Okay,
see, I
so
see.
I'm not sure I'm at a decision yet. John's premise is that the purpose of an urban legend.
John's throwing
yeah,
money.
he's throwing
John's
cash
trying
in the
to pay
middle
off
of the
the
table. That croupier is dealing money instead of cards now. So John's premise is that urban legends serve a purpose, and ultimately, this urban legend, which predates these particular crimes, did not achieve its goal. It did not fulfill its purpose. Okay,
Right.
that's it. All right. Again, very strongly told. Okay, very capably and and emotionally told.
Right.
Okay, so but that's why his is the worstest. Tim, his urban legend is this absolutely ridiculous story that no one in their right fucking mind should have ever believed could have possibly happened. Yet, despite all sense of logic that at least some people possess, it continues to live and breathe.
Right.
And
I
that's
think
what
it's
makes
because it
his the worstest.
It has that, the underlying sense of revenge that,
Yes.
that just a lot of people have.
Yeah. I mean, we've all,
And-
not wished that on somebody, but,
Right. And I think also that when Tim talks about how terrible the actual groom would have been, I don't think anybody really cares because nobody really thinks about all that stuff because it doesn't matter because it never happened anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But they just care about the fact that he's getting back, showing his naked fiance.
Yeah.
You
If
know?
you really stop to think about it, I guess it begins to unravel. But we don't go that far. We just
Exactly.
think, oh, great story.
They're titillated by the salaciousness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you have this urban legend fantasy to warn people to not crawl into those dark places. And then you have this urban legend fantasy about, man, if I could
Telling people not to crawl into those dark places.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I suppose no, they did crawl into that dark place. It's more about that dark place of conceiving of that ultimate revenge for
Yeah.
somebody. But it was also 10 games of telephone later. It became absolutely insane and insipid.
Yeah.
The levels it was taken to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I think we're in agreement.
Okay, so we'll. I'm trying to think of a good callback here, and I can't think of one.
I got one.
Okay.
Look under your seats, guys. There's a manila envelope. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh my God! You know what? No,
Here you go.
That has to.
we picked a winner.
Tim has to win.
Oh my gosh! God damn it, John!
What?
No, you were right there.
I was right there, and then
Ah.
and then Tim.
Even with that faulty premise pushing you forward.
Once again, right? It's what makes something worst. Well, what makes it worst is it's ineffective. It's ineffectual. It's impotent.
Yes.
much like many of the piss freaks.
And probably that fake groom, he was probably impotent too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why she slept with his best
That's
man.
right.
Very true.
Well, the 8x10 in your manila envelopes is John with the piss freaks.
No, he's fine. He coated himself in petroleum jelly, as if that works. You just don't feel wet because you're already wet.
That's why it works.
Okay.
Once
Well-
again, we're at an impasse. So,
Well
done.
done.
Tim.
Thank you.
Well
Thank you.
done. This was a fantastic episode.
Wow, I agreed.
Great time. Wonderful. Please remember, if you agree that this was an excellent episode, and of course you do, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like us wherever you're listening to this. Share it. Share the link. Share it with all your friends, your enemies, whoever. Just share it with a lot of people. And subscribe. Whatever podcatcher you listen to, subscribe to it. Once again, when we get our Patreon going, and I think that should be soon. I'm doing some taxes. We'll see what happens. And before we say goodbye, bonsoir, farewell, let's go over a little bit of the bestest that we have to give. Scott, take it away.
Can I make a small request?
Sure.
Because I have a bestest and I want to share it. I just don't want this to be the last one. I don't want to go out on this. And I know that sounds weird, but you'll understand why in a second. May I?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, my co-host. So my bestest, this is probably the most unusual one that's been shared. Last week, midweek, got a text from very good friends of ours, okay? People living down in the Carolinas. My wife's best friend in the entire world. This woman sent a text. She thought she was reaching out to both me and my wife. She only reached out to me and shared a story, a clipping of the fact that the private school where she worked had been surrounded by multiple cop cars, a SWAT unit, and they were combing the place because people in the school thought that they saw somebody in the school who should not be there. They were all
Propsy?
No. They were all in the gym of the school. It is a religious school, having their morning prayer. And all of a sudden, she noticed that the doors were being closed. She knew that something did not feel right. The police arrived quickly. They swept every corner of the school, found nothing, went out into the woods around. My gosh, this is crazy. That's why I wanted to get this out. Went out into the woods, did some more searching, found nothing. Okay? There are a lot of things that could have gone wrong. This could have been the worstest, but it wasn't.
Think I know what's happening.
Yeah, it was the bestest because it could have been the worstest. We always hear about thoughts and prayers. Well, here's a thought. I hate living in a place that I love so much that accepts this as just another part of living here. It's terrible. It's unnecessary. I'm glad everybody's okay. I wouldn't be here if they weren't. I scared shitless. But, you know, this is truly, nothing could have topped this as my bestest this week. I just hate that this is what I have to offer. I'm glad it's done. That's it.
All right. So was this a text of, I don't know if I'm going to
Oh,
be...
no. At the
Okay.
time, but I mean, when you're at work and somebody sends you something like this, it kind of derails your day.
But it was after it was over? Or?
Yeah, apparently. But, you know, I couldn't tell that was the case immediately. And, you know, we got the details. I'm telling you, this person's fine. But this thing is lingering with me because, you know, at one point, none of us would have been thinking about this.
Sure.
Okay? But now we have to. It's just a part of life.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Exactly. So that's it. I'm done.
Good.
It was my
Good.
bestest.
Great. That is
Okay?
that is a good bestest. That's a good bestest. Very nice. Anyone else?
I can go.
Do
I
it.
was thinking I have a lot of things. It's been a little time since we've been together, but the thing that just popped into my mind is I got a text from actually my old college roommate, and he sent he attached a video that we took circa 1986, 85 in his house at his birthday party, and it's just everybody that I remember looking the way that I remember, you know? And it's just so cool to see
That's amazing.
all these people, you know, Pat Morvillo's in there. Hello, Pat. I hope you're listening. It was his hair all biffed up and saying crazy things. And it's just an amazing, amazing thing to see all these people. And the funny thing is, it's like I'm saying, you know, we're sadly much older now, but whenever I think of, you know, Steve Giammarese, that's who I think of,
Right.
from 1986, and there he is, and it was just a really cool throwback. It was really a cool thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Really enjoyed that.
Given the age of this, obviously, I'm guessing that was VHS and probably digitized it or something. Like you said,
Probably. Yeah.
You said he texted it to you, right?
Right.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, mine, I think I might have done something like this before, but I'm going to do it again. I teach improv, and my 2 classes, my beginner intermediate and my advanced class, had their showcase last night. And it was jaw-droppingly fantastic with every single step up to it. A disaster. It was I teach in Huntington on Long Island, and they had the Huntington St. Patty's Day parade yesterday, but it was done early. It cleared out, so anyone coming to it was able to find parking. And did people come to it, and how? I had a full house.
Awesome.
The students, and these are all, you know, adult students, all walks of life, all ages, and they crushed it. They did a fantastic job. Had people who do improv, you know, professionally, if that's the word for it. And they were like, wow, what an incredible, you know, class. You really teach some amazing concepts, and the way you do stuff is great. It was just wonderful. It was just wonderful to work hard at something, have people work hard with you, and then when they show up to it and they just kick it out of the ball field, man, it was just beautiful. It was a nice. They kicked it out of the ball field.
Go sports ball.
Well, because sometimes you're not playing. Baseball isn't all year round.
It's true.
So when the ball field is unoccupied, then you can play ball.
Right.
Kick.
Basically, what you're saying is none of these folks ended up in the penalty box.
Not a single one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good time. So
Sounds
that's
great,
my
man.
that's my bestest.
Awesome.
That's my
Good
best.
for you, man.
Yeah. Tim, what do you got?
I don't have too much, so I think all I could say is I watched the film Das Boot.
Oh my
Das
God.
Boot for the first time. I had never
Oh,
seen
really?
it.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so
that's on my list.
I
I
haven't
haven't
seen that
gotten
either.
to it
Yeah.
yet.
You know, when it came out in 1981, I was a young kid. I had heard of it because it made a huge, I mean, no pun intended, made a big splash. You know, it's a foreign film that had a lot of nominations.
Yes.
Oh, him.
And it was always on my list. And I thought, I got to see Das Boot one of these days.
And you do love your footwear.
Oh, yes. And it was on TCM, so I recorded it. I got around to watching it like a week or so ago, and it's amazing. It's a really good film. It really is. It's so well done. There's the theatrical version, which is about 2.5 hours. There's a director's cut, which is, I think, 3.5. I
wow.
did not see that.
Yeah.
And then there's even a longer one, which is like just everything. It's like over 5 hours. I'm not sure.
They build the submarine to start the movie.
Yeah. So I just watched the theatrical version. It's long enough, 2.5 hours, but again, can't say enough good things about it. It's a fantastic movie.
See, now that's so interesting. I planned to talk about a film as my bestest, and then that other thing happened. So that'll have to be delayed for another recording.
The theatrical version of Das Boot, do they cut out most of the songs and the dance numbers?
I was gonna say, it's funny. They actually do sing. It's funny. It's a German submarine, of course, but
That's right, they do, yeah.
Yeah, they love to sing. It's a long way to Tipperary.
Yeah.
And I guess there's various reasons why they want to sing a song, an English drinking song on a German submarine. It's maybe just to take the piss or something like that. But they sing it twice in the movie, and it's kind of funny. So the whole film is, of course, in German, subtitle, but when they're singing that, it's, okay, here's this English drinking song or Irish drinking song.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. It's great.
Yeah, and it opens up in like this kind of, I think it's not a cabaret, I guess it's a bordello. and there's just this drunken chaos. I mean, they're all hammered. One guy's pulling out his gun and just shooting it randomly, and no one cares. It's this opening raucous scene, and you realize, oh, they're doing this because most of them realize they're going to die. And apparently, U-boat. If you served on a U-boat in the Second World War, you had a 1 in 4 chance of surviving, not dying. You had a 3 in 4 chance of dying. 1 in 4 chance of surviving. So I think the highest fatality rate in the entire German army, apparently.
Ach.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so good though. Such a well done film.
All right.
Well, there we go. That's a good episode.
Yes.
That's good.
Well done, boys.
I'm just trying not to do a callback on any of the uncomfortable things we talked about.
Okay.
So let's do a callback on some of the comfortable things. I can't think of any.
Piss buddies.
that and how's this? Have a lovely, lovely night, day, whatever it is, whenever it is that you're listening to this. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, if your cousin tells you something, it's probably bullshit. And with that,
Especially cousin Gary. You can't trust him.
he's a douche. Well, after what happened with him and his wedding, did you hear what happened?
Oh my gosh, with the picture thing?
Yeah, his wife was cheating on him.
No way.
Right in the pail.
I know a guy who was there.
Does that stuff really happen?
Oh yeah, man. It does, Pete.
Whoa.
All true.
My professor at community college.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked at the place where that happened.
Oh man.
Yeah, he didn't tell me, but his cousin did.
I reached out to Yakov Shmunov from Branson. He said it happened there.
Oh, wow.
Right in his supper club.
In Soviet Russia, picture of you have your wife having sex gets taken of you. Anyway, with that, have a lovely, lovely whatever it is that you're doing. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll hear from you. You'll hear from us real soon. Good night. Take care.
До
See ya.
свидания.
Have a good
Not
one.
all.
Bye-bye.